Only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Rule number 1. Never lose money. Rule number 2. Never forget rule number 1. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than windshield. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy only when others are fearful. The only way to get love is to be lovable. It's very irritating if you have a lot of money. You'd like to think you could write a check, I'll buy $1 million worth of love. But it doesn't work that way. The more you give love away, the more you get. I don't look to jump over 7-foot bars. I look around for 1-foot bars that I can step over. I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. Time is the friend of the wonderful company, the enemy of the mediocre. When you combine ignorance and leverage, you get some pretty interesting results. You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong. The best thing I did was to choose the right heroes. We enjoy the process far more than the proceeds. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. Today, people who hold cash equivalents feel comfortable. They shouldn't. They have opted for a terrible long-term asset, one that pays virtually nothing and is certain to depreciate in value. Your premium brand had better be delivering something special, or it's not going to get the business. Risk is a part of God's game, alike for men and nations. There seems to be some perverse human characteristic that likes to make easy things difficult. The business schools reward difficult, complex behavior more than simple behavior, but simple behavior is more effective. The smarter the journalists are, the better off society is. For to a degree, people read the press to inform themselves, and the better the teacher, the better the student body. You do things when the opportunities come along. I've had periods in my life when I've had a bundle of ideas come along, and I've had long dry spells. If I get an idea next week, I'll do something. If not, I won't do a damn thing. Warren Buffett. We believe that according the name investors to institutions that trade actively is like calling someone who repeatedly engages in one night stands a romantic. We always live in an uncertain world. What is certain is that the United States will go forward over time. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. When a management with a reputation for brilliance tackles a business with a reputation for bad economics, it is the reputation of the business that remains intact. Predicting rain doesn't count, building arcs does. Predicting rain doesn't count, building arcs does. Wall Street is the only place that people ride to in a Rolls Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. I buy expensive suits, they just look cheap on me. The first rule is not to lose. The second rule is not to forget the first rule. Wide diversification is only required when investors do not understand what they are doing. Basically, when you get to my age, you'll really measure your success in life by how many of the people you want to have love you actually do love you. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. Our favorite holding period is forever.